TED Talk, Number Sense, directed by Lori Dubno. I wish kids had better number sense. Number sense is having an intuitive understanding of numbers and how they are related to each other in different areas of mathematics. It would mean that students would perform better in mental math. It also would mean that students would have a stronger understanding of patterns and how numbers exist together in the real world. I've had too many occasions in and outside of the classroom where students accept an answer just because it took them a long time to find it. They do not care to check this answer for reasonableness. If students have good number sense, they're better at making estimations and predictions, which is an important skill found not just in math classes, but it's a skill that enhances students' ability to problem solve, which is an important characteristic for becoming an employee. Here's an example of a division problem that students can be asked to do, and if they're able to be very good with number sense, they'll understand that there are 3 different ways, probably even more than what's going to be shown here, of how to approach this problem. But the fact is if they have a good sense of number sense, they will understand all 3 approaches because they are very fluid. The first sentence, or the first math sentence that I have, is instead of taking 210 divided by 0.6, I have 210 divided by 6. Students are intimidated by the fact that this has got a decimal in it. So instead, you remove the decimal and you think about your divisibility rules. We know that 6, if I'm doing a division problem with 6 in it, if I can also divide by 3 and 2, I know that the number is divisible by 6 also. That being said, if I change my division problem from doing 210 divided by 6 to this situation, I know that 21 divided by 3 is 7, and include my 0. I just took care of the 3. I still have to divide by 2, but once I get there, I now know that my solution is 35. That's only if I dealt with a whole number. If we go back to the original problem, I saw that I had a decimal and it was only 1 decimal place, which means I need to adjust my answer by multiplying by 1 power of 10 to get my ultimate answer as 350. This is just one approach. Here's the second one. Instead of approaching this decimal division as a decimal, let's change our 0.6 to 6/10. When this happens, we take our division symbol and it turns into multiplication. We also take the reciprocal of the second fraction. When this happens, we take our whole number, we put it over 1. Sorry, I'm going kind of fast because I'm assuming people are understanding this in math lingo. You already did your division problem over here when you're cross-reducing, so if I divide by 6, I know that 210 divided by 6 is that 350 that I needed, or I'm sorry, the 35, because when I multiply by my 10, I get 350 again. So far, here are 2 different approaches that uses different types of math, one involving a decimal and one involving a fraction. Here's a third way. Same approach as the second example. However, I'm going to change it to this improper fraction. I'm now going to change this improper fraction to a mixed number. So 6 goes into 10 once. Then we know that there's 4 left over. You got to reduce this. So now we're here. Instead of taking our approach and doing an actual division problem, now I'm going to just take multiples of 210 to try and figure out what the final answer is going to be. So I know that if I take 210, I have 210, then I have to do 2/3 of my 210. When I have this kind of setup, again, I have another division problem. If I do that, then I end up with my 70. 2 times 70 gets me my 140 over here, but when I add it to the other 210, look what happens. So there's 1, 2, 3 different approaches to do one division problem, but if you have really good number sense, students will understand that all of this is fluid and it's all relatable, but you're doing the same exact thing, you're just expressing it in different ways. When students are working with problem solving in number sense, they are having discussions in class with their teacher and their peers. They are being asked to provide reasoning for their answer. This is where they are communicating their interpretation of the problem, their work, and explaining it to other individuals who may have a different point of view. Overall, I wish educators approach learning with a focus on problem solving and number sense, because this would help better prepare students for the 21st century society that they are a part of.